try again. Good, no drop frames. We're good. I'd have, yeah, like 4 different reports, all summarized and bullet points. So I can start from the top. So the DNC came out with a report, like what went wrong, except it was terrible, and not just like Democratic Party. Oh my gosh, not just like the Democratic Party campaigns are terrible, but like the report itself is terrible. It's commissioned by a friend of the current DNC chair, who kind of helped get him elected, Paul Rivera. Which I feel bad for, because like he fucked up this one. He fucked up this so badly that his name is gonna go down in infamy almost. It's like not horrible, but it was pretty bad for what you expect. Like no interviews with top campaign officials except for one, who ended up writing another report. The Bulwark Flaherty report. Bulwark is a website, Rob Flaherty in the name. And it was kind of like an opinion piece, really. A lot of like top of the line stuff, like, oh, they spent 150 million on the field campaign when they should have done 300 million if it was the same percentages of previous campaigns. Oh, I should have, of course. Let's get over here. It's the worst Moss Mother you've ever seen. So there's a Bulwark report, other than the DNC report. There's Catalist, which is more of a voter file data analysis. And RootsAction / Cloak, which kind of has more interviews and like journalism stuff. Oh, 315. I think it should have been like a 250. I guess like 3 then. Not too wild. In RootsAction report, it's more of like a by Chris Cook. Fuck me. It's more of like a progressive critique, which is great. And there's of course my notes. There is a weird thing where the DNC head was very disingenuous, like kind of lying about a lot of stuff, about whether or not they paid for it and whether or not it was finished. And the way he framed it is like, you know, we got our lessons from it, so we're gonna use those lessons and move forward instead of pointing fingers. Even though they're saying there's no silver bullet, but nobody needs a silver bullet or to point fingers. Like we still deserve to have the report released even without those things. Because he like promised it, he kind of ran on that specifically. I didn't waste a lot of time for the beast flight. Skip here, so. Itch my face so bad. I'm done. Easy. I'm like fucking jumping at the wrong time. What's going on? Like, why is it always perfectly timed the wrong way? Why? Why? What can I do? What can you do here, brother? Oh! It's right here. Thank you. God damn. So stressful. Should just practice that. That's the one thing I've never practiced by itself.
That's fine.
I can skip some rosaries somewhere, I just don't know where yet. Maybe the Coral Commitment? How are those like my first? I guess I get it. We're really just getting the Bellheart Station. I don't know where my cat's gonna fucking jump on my lap from. I'm ready. I'm ready to disown her. So Catalist by the numbers. Paris lost ground among a specific interconnected. Okay. We're gonna die from this guy. Interconnected cluster of people. It's like a lot of non-battleground states, including strongholds, so it's people who are more comfortable doing a protest vote. Young and male voters of color, infrequent voters, urban, non-battleground, not random drift. Trump's gains are significantly smaller in battleground states. Campaign activity and higher election participation really mattered. But irregular voters, like, missed one of the last 4 general elections, swung hard towards Trump. So for the past 8 years, missed 4, or missed one of the last 4. Swung hardest towards Trump. These were exactly the voters most likely to be missed by low-traffic, micro-targeted canvassing. And irregular voters are, we call them lower propensity voters, and there was actually an increased focus on them in the 2024 campaign, just because it's something we've been needing to do for a while. It's a huge issue, which is Democratic campaigns micro-targeting. That means they do a search for voters in the database for like a neighborhood, and if someone isn't high propensity, like high likelihood of voting, they'll just like not knock on their door. But the thing about that is that, you know, they're trying to focus on people who we need to convince. So it's like there's a propensity, but there's also how strong of a Democrat they are. If they're like super strong, there's a why do we need to talk to them like they're already strong or whatever kind of thing. That was a mistake. I hate the bells. but also, you know, strong Republicans. We want to skip them, but if you're already walking a neighborhood, it's like skipping, you know, a few doors here. It's like you might as well knock the door because you're so close to them, and there's like a, you know, decreasing returns or something. There's something weird happening with micro targeting where you're just like skipping a lot of houses that like technically should be, like, could be valuable because they technically are just like at a certain percentage where we think they'll vote, and it's just not a great way of going about things because they might be down to volunteer. They might be down to get their networks to vote. They might run the farmer's market and get you a table or whatever. There's so much potential with even strong Dems, but they're pulled out of our lists because we don't want to waste time on them. And that happens for knocking doors, but phone calls as well, and high traffic canvassing, which they don't really do at all, like maybe on college campuses. But as far as Democratic Party coordinated campaigns, like the big thing in the general election, they're missing out. And so you knock doors for 3 hours, and at best you're talking to like 5 to 8 people. Whereas if you're on a college campus, you talk to like 40 to 50 people in 3 hours, 3 to 4 hours. And maybe you can get like 15 to 25 to actually sign a commit to vote. And if you're at the doors for that amount of time, maybe you get 2, like 5 max. So the micro-targeting and the canvassing and the low traffic stuff is super not helpful at this point. When people don't pick up their phones, don't answer their door to strangers, like, there's never been a time where it's like, wow, this is something we have to not ditch, like that we can't be like, this is our bread and butter, honestly. Because I've heard that and it's like understandable because it's something that you can do at any time. You know, it's like regular, consistent. There's no like, you don't have to wait for an event to happen that has enough people. You don't have to get permits, whatever. It's a constitutional right to knock doors, but it's also a constitutional right to talk to people on the street, which is something that's actually really cool from our country. Nice. I don't know if I need this, but should probably set it. Look, I'm putting way too much vertical height into some of these jumps. So urban Dem support dropped, especially in non-battleground states. The base eroded even in strongholds. Women and consistent voters held steady. Harris's floor came from frequent voters, particularly in battleground states. Whoever shows up reliably still votes Democratic. Almost went to the right there. So afraid of getting hit by that. I had to save up a heal last time. I'm happy to not have to do that this time. Or like I had to take a break to get a heal. Why? Why is it every time? You wait perfectly. coalition problem. So over the past decade, Democrats treated basically like the working class downscale voters for upscale ones. So college-educated suburbanites and never Trump Republicans don't outnumber the working class voters that we're losing. In 2020, multiracial working class coalition was already fragile. This is from the Bulwark. The last one was too. Biden won battleground states by a small margin amid a pandemic, economic collapse, and unpopular incumbents. And you can only replicate that with, like, perfect conditions. And I think the pandemic is like the key, because there was an extended mail-in ballots. And if you think about like when the Democratic Party has won, it's really like Obama, 08, and 2012, and Obama ditched the Democratic Party, basically broke up with them. He's like, I'm not going to use your coordinated campaign structure, which is like the state party. It's supposed to basically deal with the problem that you have a bunch of people running up and down the ballot, and they're all running their own campaigns. And so basically, you want to, if you're knocking doors and you're like leaving literature at the door, you want to leave like 10 pieces of literature, honestly. So you gotta kind of make these, I don't like it, but a lot of people make these stacks of literature. I'm a big, just bring a stack of each and make your little things instead of like spending hours doing that every time. Go. Thank you. Get out. 2008, 2012, and 2020 are the only times Democrats have won presidential elections this century. So it's like Obama basically doing his own thing and ignoring the Democratic Party's infrastructure. And ...2020 when we had expanded early voting, or expanded mail-in ballots because of the pandemic. So there's unprecedented access to the polls. And basically the issue was Harris was prioritizing like moderate Republicans a little bit too much. You're going around with Liz Cheney and like Mark Cuban trying to be like, Trump is a threat to democracy, instead of like, he's gonna raise your grocery bills and your gas bill. Which is all that, oh my god, which is all the people really, not that all they care about, but it's what they really do care about the most. Jesus Christ, I need to stop doing little... What if I just go down here? Not too bad.
That's fine.
So focused on those like supposedly swing voters, as well as the corporate donors and stuff. Like famously, her brother-in-law was like the CEO of Uber. Got him, got Harris to avoid railing on corporate greed too much. Talked her out of it. And it's like the one thing It gets people excited. Honestly, it's being like, oh, you're being screwed over. That's the thing that got Trump elected in 2016. What was that? I gotta pay attention to that. So Harris prioritized moderate Republicans, corporate owners over organizing, working class, and young progressive voters. It's very much a preventable disaster, and this is from RootsAction. So same mistake as 2016. Schumer predicted that they'd pick up 2 suburban moderates for every blue-collar Democrat they lost in Western Pennsylvania. And that was like the worst curse. Like one of the, I guess they called the cardinal sin by David Plouffe. It's really the most fucked up.
Cadestre.
Sentaso. Madon. Keskomel.
Hirunare.
Perantoro tano.
Buenera.
Sentaso.
I guess I gotta make this into a an all bosses run if I really want to, because I can hit this guy. I'm try to do the skip. Oh my god, we did it. Fucking all bosses run. Oh my god, forgot about that. I do love how she hits the ceiling, it's so cute. Alright, Shawarma, you talk him down off the ledge. I'll trust you for this one, I'll get the next one. I would like the next one. I hate that little break that it does. Really? That was weird. I really want to know if I'm doing the airstreams correctly. Roll skip? My beloved mother. We do have a warning bell on. Or I have a green. I would love the warning bell. Maybe I should try this one. Oh, they're gonna go too far to the right. Or left. One of you? Said one of you? Oh, so much. Come on. I hate you so much. I have to ditch it immediately if I lose one. Okay, we're good. so easy. The one time you do get it, it's like, wow, this is a lot less difficult than it was 2 seconds ago. So the Bulwark report also said, or RootsAction said that we prioritized wrong. Guess I'm gonna save time because I'm not gonna visit the relic person. There. Tactics don't add up to a brand. Harris never clearly answered why she got into the race. Okay, come on. Come on. I hate how that only works sometimes. And I can hit. That was the best movement I've ever seen in my life. Come. Missed it. Come on. Mistake. What the fuck was that? Come on. Good lord. One hit away. I'm gonna sit the fuck down on this bench. So the Bulwark also said, Harris never clearly answered why she got in the race. Research showed that people liked those specific ads, started to associate her with economic issues, which she definitely was stronger on than Biden, who was like, this is the best economy ever. Look at these rates. Like, we're winning. Aren't you winning? Don't you feel it, son? Don't you feel it, bucko? But something bigger wasn't landing, which is probably, you know, in part, at least, you know, a tiny part, moderate part. It's just like the woman, like, is she likable? Like this kind of hyper obsession on things that we really don't care about as much. I could use a heal. Not even close. How? There's also like the disingenuous nature of the Dems, I think, turn off people as well. Like having a primary, Biden trying to brag about the economy, bragging about the DNC being the most sustainable convention ever, which I mean is like you can say that every year. If you remove one fork from the agenda, or 1 minute off of the time every year, you can say it's the most sustainable ever, because you're just reducing it by 0.0001%. That issue was more of a coming in the same week as reports about record-breaking oil production. It's like if they were serious about, you know, sustainability, they would talk about the amount of like carbon being put in the atmosphere and stuff. Okay. Need that little part. 33. I feel like this is a little longer than normal. Paid ads told one story. Organic content. Freedom Brat told another. If your organic and paid are saying different things, you don't have a messaging problem, you have a brand problem in the Bulwark. And that's what the Bulwark said. 3 competing theories on how to attack Trump. Unfit, unstable, unchecked. Fucking hate you. Compromises the triple U construction, it didn't work. I mean, it really shouldn't be, personally, solely about Trump. It should be like a, you're struggling and he's not going to work for you kind of thing, not a, on a scale of 1 to 100, he scores a C and I'm a B. Like, it's too abstract. Like, his democracy index is at a 14, and mine is at a 37. Clearly, I should be the one to be elected. It's good, like, he sells you out so he can get his buddies richer, kind of shit. Okay. 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 Okay, I don't know what to do with that. Are you gonna attack me? Run. Stupid. Thank you. You fucking witch. Wench. We're at like 37-37 when it came out of this last time. Can we move, please? Jesus. Pauses unnecessarily. Already passed it. Never mind, I saved an extra minute because I started my timer late last time. Fuck me. We're up a minute. Titles to the Bulwark said, the trans ad worked because of the implied narrative. She's focused on liberal stuff, not you. Not because of the literal claim. Responding to it directly would have been a loser. Project 2025 organically became Trump's worst negative. The campaign spotted it on TikTok, ran with it, and then pulled back when Trump distanced himself from it. Flaherty now thinks that was a mistake. Pulling back from when Trump was like, oh, I don't know anything about it. And then like being like, okay, we're going to trust him for now. Take him at his word. The right does bottom-up messaging, and naturally things go viral on X, podcast, Fox News, and then to the president. I would say the trans ad definitely worked, just because I heard people talk about it a few times. I did not even see it myself, so people talking about an ad I never saw. Ooh. Mango. And even one of the staffers, I remember, like very low level staffers, was like, if only we stopped talking about the trans and talked about, you know, something like people, I don't know. And it was like we never brought it up, like it was never in the campaign material at all. Like it's not something we talk about the door, that like we actively included in literature or anything like that. So yeah, just ignore the bullshit and actually start a Did we open up the thingy down there? I think we did. Fuck me, I'm gonna double check. We always do, right? Yes, we did. We did. Trust yourself, brother. Trust yourself. It's now time for Blasted Steps. And we're actually gonna not trust ourselves from BS2. We're gonna just go through the room. No structural problems, the Bulwark said. Okay. Fucking hate this room so much. Okay. It's okay. Set up a cocoon skip. So 1 minute. So 1 minute we saved. We're reclaiming that now. And because we're not going to try the blasted steps too, we're going to save even more time. And because we're not going to get the bench for before dancers. Or at least because we're not going to open up the door. Might as well have started in Act 2. I feel like this one is about oh my god, really? Please fuck off. Fuck both of you. All three of you, whatever. We're locked the fuck in. We are limitless pilled. We're gonna boof a limitless pill. Just to emulate. What we're doing. Structural problems. Biden should have never run for re-election. His age wasn't just a number. It destroyed his greatest asset, perceived empathy and connection. This was like, you know, losing a son to cancer and stuff. And it preloaded the "she's not in it for you" perception onto Harris. Harris was set up without self-research as VP, which is like kind of one of the big, I don't know, failings. Like they didn't, apparently like the Biden campaign didn't consider her as like even the slightest possibility of becoming a candidate. Whereas like every other campaign has like done that just because like if the president is whatever. I don't know how to phrase that. It's our favorite day of the month. I'm always so fucking scared for that. Close, but no beads. We're grabbing this one. We're going through the room. That was insane, puppy. Save me, Chakra. From myself. We did it. Now we hit the fucking bench. We really shouldn't, but whatever. It's a few seconds, right? There's like 15 seconds. Oh, we don't have anything else to equip, so whatever. My hands are sweaty. My knees are spaghetti. That would have been a great everything everywhere all at once gag instead of just the hot dog fingers. Which are kind of creepy, bro. Not gonna lie, we do not have enough silk. Fuck me. I don't want to talk to you, beaches. Turtle beaches. Okay. Yeah, there was no polling on Paris's biography, vision, or voter perception when she became the candidate. Polling team had nothing on file. I gotta focus on this one. Alright. Kill them, they're peasants. Bad idea. Can we not do this? Yeah, close enough. Come on. Bad idea. Thank you. Fuck me, this is gonna be a... I might hit the bench just to, calm my nerves. The Bulwark also said Harris couldn't credibly distance herself from Biden. If she had said Biden was wrong about X and I disagreed, the obvious follow-up is, so what did she do about it? The early window closed fast. I mean, she could credibly, I don't know if she didn't credibly distance herself because there's a norm, and this is one of our biggest problems, is the adherence to norms. Because they weaken us in a lot of places for, like, to be, okay. Okay. Where can I get a heal? I guess up here. It's right here. It's right there. There's like the fateful, what would you do to lay out a single thing? I think it was the answer on the view. They just destroyed. Because that basically means, I don't know, it's like a slap in the face for most people that are struggling. That their lives, there's like no possibility of ever their lives being better. Basically, it's kind of like saying that they deserved it. If you're crying yourself to sleep at night because you can't afford cancer treatment, it's kind of like, this is how the world should be. What people read from it. 107 days, I think, is a, I'm not sure, not red herring, but it's bullshit. Just because it's like, oh, you only had 107 days campaign, makes it seem like there was nobody in the entire country doing a single bit of like voter outreach and stuff. And it's like they just changed the top of the ticket. It doesn't. I mean that they fired everyone and hired new people because even the person that wrote that was very okay. Let me go to this one. The writer of the article about Flaherty was like in both campaigns. It's a hard one. The Witch Crest just has like a super small pogo hitbox. Okay. Nice and simple. Thank you. Left shark. My favorite meme. Didn't have enough for a spear. Mistake. Honestly, it's too fast for me. Left. It's the second one. Second one. Come on. How you doing, bro? Thank you, good lord. Fuck me. Oh, okay. I didn't open up the gate, that's why. I just need to we're not gonna dash attack and run into him. Thank you for yourself. Body at the floor. I quit out that too early, it really sucks. Campaign and Future Forward, the main super PAC, had two completely different theories of the case on media mix, spinning levels, timing, negative versus contrast ads. Nobody resolved it. I mean, they can't coordinate, so whatever. There's probably like some small amount of legal thing, but for it. The result was wasted money. By the way, I feel like I was gonna milk the far lid. Little spider, the drift loot, whatever. Because I usually come into this like a few... Come on. Over here. Thank you. Big Boy, my favorite. I forgot to say it, but he's my favorite NPC in the game just because of the yapping. He really believes in his own cause. He's like confident about it too. That's what really matters. Speedy Gonzalez. Speedy Gonzalez. Fucking hate the way he... Hardball. I hate the way he like backs up into you. I don't know why it feels like I'm forgetting the route. Get over here. Please get over here. Jump up, get over here. Unnecessary jump. No, I didn't need to actually get back up there. Probably should do it better. What am I doing? So Rob from the Bulwark says campaigns and their super packs need a jointly held something? I don't know. Theory of case, I guess. I guess before they start the work, they kind of figure it all out. Before they're like legally not allowed to coordinate. Oh my god, that was so close. Well, that's why we get that one. They were all good. before I get to my notes. Super PAC's supposed to handle negative work. Future Forward wasn't doing a campaign I had to spend on digital. It wasn't supposed to cover. From the Bulwark, Gaza was a giant rotting fish around our necks. Creators and supporters afraid to say anything nice about Biden. His comment sections got wrecked. Protesters drove coverage away from campaign events. This was also with the Inflation Reduction Act, where even like Bill McKibben of 350.org, like huge climate environmental justice organization, there's so much good work, including like around pipeline stuff, like Keystone XL. He like wouldn't criticize it at all, even though it expanded natural gas like infrastructure that we really need to be stopping. Because you couldn't say anything negative. Like that's the failure is like we need people to like say, oh, I disagree with this. It has some victories, it's not everything, but it's 1,000 times better than, you know, having the admin that we do now. Get that shit out of here. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Stupid. I got our healing. Should have been it. Thank you. My beloved. Cool fall. Oh my god. Flaherty says there's not enough single issue voters on Gaza to swing the election on itself, but it was like a broader, I don't know, thing. Gotta hit the start button right here. Okay, put on the Trobbio mirror. I'm gonna start hitting that button twice. Instead of like trying to hit 5 times over to the right to pick the mirror, it like automatically goes to it. I don't know why we're doing that. Come on. It'd be funny if we died here with full fucking silk and health. It would be 2 recalls. Yeah, wasn't enough single issue Gaza voters to swing the election, but it was a proxy for like broader frustration, the Biden administration, for many traditionally Dem coalition voters. For RootsAction, Gaza was a primary cause of losing young voters. Oh yeah, what if we just did this? I hate it when the guy was in here. A bit too close, brother. Big boy. Just work in the corner. You fucking spidered. What do we know? We're gonna hit the thing here for no reason. We don't have nearly enough money for anything. Yeah, RootsAction said the Gaza was the primary cause. I gotta like not hit things on here. Oh my god. Gotta wait for it. It was the primary cause of losing young voters. You're hitting the bench. I wonder how long that Clockwork Dancers lasted, because I took it extra slow. Can you do this for me, brother? Can you do it for me? Thank you. I love you. I'll put in a good word with my grandma. Except for you, you're gonna fucking die. I fucking hate you. I'm gonna kill your entire species. If I can get a... It's over here, isn't it? A heal, that would be killer. You going up above here?
That's fine. That's fine. You finish?
Gaza was a primary cause of losing young voters. Of the 7 million Biden voters who didn't come back, polling showed 30% of Biden, around 30. 20 non-voters cited ending the Gaza assault as a top factor. 30% from RootsAction. So yeah, there were 7 million Biden voters that didn't come back. There's like a whole list of things for why that happened. One was Gaza, one was Biden not helping out enough. Apparently, like, saw it. Okay. I remember there's a new daily report on it. I forget who actually wrote the book, but like Biden was still salty about losing to Obama, and they didn't give full-throated support to Kamala Harris for some reason. Like the campaign staff would see it as treason. Or not loyalty, at least, I guess. Oh my god. We're gonna go for it. Or I could open up this thingy. You know we do it flawless. Okay. So it's one. Why did I, like, immediately lose memory of the entire thing? I'm at the top. I think there's gotta be a way to, like, stop that. Shinama with an SH. Shinama with the cinnamon. Give it to me. Give me your song. Let me paint the halls red with the reverberations of your pain. Let me make sure your suffering is scored to the daily walks of everyone who passes by. I had to change my wallpaper. To the amount of hits it takes. What the fuck did I fail at? I like died early on. I forget what it was already. I hate how fucking low that one goes. I also don't like how much I missed that one. I need to hit that. We're waiting. I'm not gonna try any, like, left, whatever. I hate this part so much. We did it. I don't know what the god pixel is. I don't care. Now time for our favorite part. Do I have everything on me? I think I do. Yes. Really wish I could wash my face real quick, whatever. The nicotine. Okay. Need to fucking heal. Oh my fucking god, I'm gonna kill myself. Just kidding. I would never say that. Actually, I would say that 100 times, but I would never mean it. Fuck you. Huh? Two. Really? Two big boys. Do it. Do it. Jump. Thank you. For not fucking me over.
Machine of
Wash my face. When can I let go? I hate that I don't know. Desperate face washing. Wrong way. I should have save quitted. God, I love the bench sound, how much it reminds me of Hollow Knight. I can't see shit. Actually, just went off. Ow. Where? Womp womp. Blah, blah, blah. Ooh, castle. Jew castle? Sounds dope. Can I get an invite? Or is it two Casa? Is it your home? Sorry. Best cutscene of the game? I'm time for you. I don't know why my vision feels like come on. Please do it. Okay. Amazing. Good. Please. Thank you. Little croissant. Sassy little croissant. Your fake little laugh. Just gonna watch you collapse. Not buying it. Oh shit, I realized I'm not much faster. Let's see if it's okay. Turn the brightness up. Got a face next to yours. I can never get that jump right. Now my ass hurts. I'm sitting down for so long. Should be my feet. But I'm tired. Grandma, time to go to the nursing home. Hello? Maximum comfy. Okay. We have enough for a spear too. On the right side, because I've done it most often. Nope. Stupid. Why do they feel so much faster right now? Thank you for the milk. How did my silk spear just get cancelled? That should have been it. Oh my god. Thank you. Oh my god. It's 53, come on, B. We did it. In-game timer. Like, it's not a, it's an RTA. That doesn't include the quitouts. We're under 130. We're totally under 130. Okay, I gotta pause it. Fuck me. We're gonna have to do this all manually. We totally broke our record by like 30 seconds or so. And I had a death. Forget where. Oh, it was after Widow. It was in the hell room. Yeah, the tall room. Well, then the in-game actual timer is going to be like 124. It's not like 125.10 or something. It's going to be 124.45-ish. Our new god. Eight-legged freak. What else did we have? And the reports, I'm really like halfway down, God. Media, digital, and creators. Creator strategy was a fiasco, ad hoc, not systematic. Kamal HQ got a reputation for being the girls and the gays. Great for base consolidation, but the outgroup sees your most viral content too, and the race lost on brand, the myopia matters. I guess pictures from inside, whatever, you want diversity properly. Campaign HQ in Wilmington hurt. Hiring twice over, post October 7th and post debate hiring sprees needed people willing to move to Delaware. It's filtered the candidate pool. Joe Rogan, Flaherty was in favor of doing it. Rogan's team kept moving goalposts. Beyonce concert was an excuse in Texas to do Rogan. Then Trump booked his Rogan appearance the same day and the opportunity closed. Digital is not a department. It's the way the world works. Every campaign function should be built for digital. That's what I like from it. The campaigns that figure this out first will have a massive advantage. Or two. On the ground field organizing. 124. 23. There's like 4 quit outs or so. Screen caps. So the RTA timer is definitely behind, but this one is also apparently like from the Lace 2. So when I go in, look at my stuff real quick. Let me go back and check the title screen. One 1.03. 128. Oh, it's getting close. So yeah, 128 then is total. It's not 120, whatever, 4. Look at my stuff, just approve, whatever. Nothing here. I wonder if there's like a timer you can pull from the save file itself. It's probably what we see right here in the save file menu. 128. It's good enough for me. That's a solid under 130, which is all I wanted. I'm sure what it was last time. It was like 129 or 130. It wasn't really clear. At least while I had the recorder on, I could do high hauls. Cover the rest. So as far as the report, I'll just go to this one. There's a dominant culture of cover your own ass, like focus on your future career, maintain good relationships in presidential campaigns, coordinated campaigns. So there's not a incentive to like speak up about bad ideas. There's very much a culture of like just saying yes. Even if you're like calling your volunteers 3 times in the same night for confirmations before big push for get out the vote. To destroy the relationship. And the worst part is you do that and you can't have the ability to text them or mass text your volunteers or your voters because they're worried about, most likely worried about opt-out rates. Whereas they're still getting 7 fundraising texts a day. So I guess I can understand why each field organizer, there's thousands of them around the country, shouldn't have the ability to text thousands of people, but like even your voters, even if you got like approval, even if that approval had to come like statewide, like your state director had to approve a text, come on, you should be able to text no real feedback loop from field to top in terms of review. It's not very much rigorous evaluation because everyone, the people you would report to are the managers that are desperately trying to hit their own metric goals. They can't really escalate something unless it's really destroying their own metrics, which are all off, like door knocking and calls made are not great metrics when nobody's answering the phone or entering the door. So including the actual contact rate would be critical, be like a huge thing. Even people from like mega corporations are blown away by how, you know, top down and authoritarian the structure is. It's just like not democratic, which is kind of wild. Okay. Can you fucking kill me? One big boy. Oh my god, I'm trying to learn how to combo this guy. So in a critical swing state, there's like this desire to go rogue, and which actually happened in Pennsylvania too, where they realized they weren't doing like voter registration or proper outreach to Black and Hispanic communities. So they started meeting out of like a coffee shop. And I definitely thought about that, like going rogue. And I've actually heard another staffer talk about that too, like asking a top level staff, like an organizing director, like, when is the time to do this if you know you're getting bad orders that just like don't fit? One of the examples is like the dates for GOTV. Like even if you're early voting, kind of they use the same dates for GOTV regardless of your state, even though the early voting dates are changed. So like when you really need to have your last push, they aren't doing it because everyone across the country needs to be on the same schedule for some reason. It's because they are so focused about, you know, everything fitting into nice metrics and reviews and, you know, cookie cutter everything so it can all come out the same, but like that's not how it works. That's not how effective outreach works. Come on. Let's get up here. Oh, that hit me. Two boys. Okay. Place 2. Ah, there we go. Have revealed. The report stuff. Chris Cook quotes the 2017 RootsAction finding that you can't mobilize your base if you're afraid of it. Same strategic failure 8 years later. Yeah, in Pennsylvania, they were like, we're not doing voter registration, we're not hitting up like events like farmers markets and stuff, which they don't because the micromanaging or the micro-targeting, wanting to control everyone that you talk to. Because you don't want to talk to someone that's obviously hard GOP or like super low propensity for voting. But they also want to pull out people that are like strong Dems because they're already going to vote. And that doesn't take into consideration that they might be able to mobilize their networks to vote or volunteer. So no high traffic canvassing, only like I guess in the college campuses. But it's like a whole thing about control. And it's just too much. It's like, of course, organizations are going to naturally try to be controlling because they want to have control over everything. They don't want it to feel like the sense of loss of control. But what it does is it robs us of the ability to like be democratic in our decision making, to involve everyone that like would be affected by a decision, to have a say in it. So the county parties for one, but also the workers themselves, and just getting more input and like leveraging the diversity in our different perspectives and experiences and our knowledge about how to reach different communities in different ways. So Goodhart's law is in full effect as well. When a measure becomes a target, it ceases to be a good measure. So campaigns measure towards knocked and calls me, but not contact rates or actual conversations. They do like have that factored in, but it's not like the thing that you report on your nightly checkout call. Just the door and call numbers. So when you try to focus on those so specifically, people start gaming the system. Remember one time years ago, I was told Denmark phones were disconnected. So we'd call and be like, burr, 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 burr. Nobody ever picks up. It's like nobody has that phone number anymore. To mark them as not home, because that would inflate your call totals, because not homes are recycled in the database. You're going to call them again next time you go through. Because they just weren't home, nobody picked up. So it gives you like a free call every time you do that. If you're trying to hit, 150 to 200 calls a day, you start desperately trying to do these things. Same thing with like knocking doors. If you knock and then you just go away very quickly, you can knock way more doors because you're not giving them time to actually respond. Same thing with phone calls. You can quit. You can hang up after like a couple rings or 3 rings, which I was told also to do once. And it's just all ways of like gaming the system. And I'm sure like top level staff are like keeping in mind the contact rates, because it's also a way of like finding who's cheating. Because contact rates are honestly, they're more like 15%. Like if you're knocking doors, 15% of them are going to answer if it's like a targeted list. Okay, amazing. Yeah, nobody picks up their phone or answers the door anymore, so we really need to fix that and reach people where they're at. Reach them in whatever way we can. And I think the hard part is like just like getting their contact information or knowing who they are so you can track who you talk to. Because the whole point of a campaign is to build up a list of people that are identified as supporters, and then when election day comes, or like the end of early voting as well, to try and push out all those people you've identified, especially if they've like made a commitment to vote, to remind them and stuff like that. Oh shit, I forgot you're still alive. Okay. Oh my god, I thought I had a friggin' heal. I frickin' pogoed you. You're doing me dirty, Lace. Stupid croissant. We don't need to do styles. Give me some milk. I love that she makes like little clown noises. It's my favorite shit ever. Oh my god, we almost had it. Do it. Okay. Oh, that was a weird one. Do it. Okay. Texting. One thing was like hiring paid canvassers. They mentioned that on the Pod Save America call, or podcast, but they don't hire paid canvassers. They hire private consulting firms that hire paid canvassers, hit certain precincts, and that is radically different. Having someone come from out of state, fly in, or drive in, whatever, stay at a hotel or an Airbnb, and have them do certain lists because they're one, not local, so people aren't gonna like trust them as much, but they're also like that money could come under like through the state party, it could go through the county party. You could have canvassers under each individual field organizer that has like a certain section of a town, a bunch of precincts. That would mean field organizers aren't stuck knocking doors and making phone calls as much, because that's kind of like the base level thing, and you want to. The most important part of the field organizing job is basically recruiting and building up a voter contact machine. So a bunch of people that are trained and committed to doing that work come election day, because you need to leverage everyone. Okay. Where you at? That would free up organizers basically to do something like go out canvassing with a volunteer the first time, which is very important because you can't like tell, especially like high schoolers, you can't tell them to like, hey, this is like your list number, here's the app, here's how it works. You know, just go and knock on the stranger's door, and like talk to them and convince them. Like they don't have the social awareness or expertise to like figure that out. Well, most of them don't. Of course, not all of them, whatever, but like the average person now like doesn't feel comfortable knocking on a stranger's door, and like they can just lie about whether or not they did it. They can make up the results. That's typically more like paid staff than volunteers, because it's like, why would you volunteer just to lie about it? But people also... Oh my god, Kitty. Why did you do this to me? People also lie about like the volunteers. Like, oh, just sign this thing and say you're going to volunteer. You don't have to do anything, but it helps me out a lot because it gets my boss off my back. That's such a big constant thing, which I think would fall under data integrity, but so it's something you can get immediately fired for without like your union being able to mediate. But building up that relationship, organizers having time, because they have paid canvassers out to focus on the volunteers, the training, them having good experience, showing them how it's done, giving them tips and tricks so that they're comfortable, that they don't run into the issues that would keep someone from volunteering again, because every person that we have volunteer, we really need them to come out on election day. Like, that's the #1 thing. It's honestly like the first ask. Let's get them commit to election day and then try to get them to come out again before then. Really changing up your style, aren't you? Do it. I walked into it. She fucking says, come on, I hate that so much. It's so cute. She's making fun of us. And a fight to the death. Mistake. I want to do something cool. Do it. I think this should be over. I think we're good for tonight. Yeah, the campaign's higher super late. They also don't have like a continuous like year-round program. They like hire spring 2026 will be this year, so like right now into the summer. Final hires come over in October, which is unbelievable. I guess it's like a save money thing, but still, Jesus Christ. Not having anyone at a certain college would be wild. Like you need to have people like developing at least at the beginning of the semester so you can get permits for tabling to allow you to reach dozens of times more people than you can at the doors. Communities no longer solely geographic. Geographically based organizers trying to organize people's online lives is a structural mismatch that has to be solved before 2028. The rally's not recruiting because the event teams are just there for headlines, not for, volunteers, not field. They only come with like a 2 days heads up notice, which is rough, but it's worse when they don't talk to you at all, which they don't, because there might be a secret service thing, security, whatever, but at least having some way to incorporate local field staff that are trying to get out the vote, trying to recruit people, trying to like have the presence with like your candidate themselves or like a big name like Elizabeth Warren or AOC or Bernie or whatever coming into town. Like you should use that to serve your local campaign and not just be like a photo op, but they're just photo ops. And technically everyone that signs up for those rallies does go into the system so they can be called and recruited at a later date, but like cold calls, cold emails, like none of that stuff is a good way of recruiting someone compared to the peak excitement of a rally when they're looking up to, there's a celebrity there, they want to be connected to celebrity because social status, having the candidate themselves or Bernie or whoever ask them to volunteer is going to get way more people than someone random knocking on their door or phone or emailing them. So field staff has to go up and down the line with like no real credibility because they're not like inside the event. And that's been like a thing since at least 2008, 2012, where they could get people to sign up because they had to go get tickets to events. But they would have to do it there, and otherwise people do it kind of just up and out the event. They don't have like that legitimacy that you have like when the MC for an event is like the DJ or whatever is like, go visit, like a microphone in my hand, like go visit my guy over there. Make sure you check out them, talk to them, they're running the campaign. Let's go for them, the cheers and everything. It's just so much better than like a random stranger coming up to you and not being willing to appreciate that or even factor that in. Is just unbelievable waste. It's the barnstorm model that Bernie does, Beto, Mamdani. You make this ask from the stage at peak energy or at least have tables inside. Private consulting firms get hundreds of thousands of dollars in single contracts for out-of-state canvassers who lie of experience. That's definitely happened. I worked with one of them after the election, and local staff getting paid next to nothing sometimes, like in states where they don't have a union, especially. Because if you're working, 60, 70 hours a week for 3,000, 3,500, maybe 4,000 a month. Now it's up to like 5,000 in really well paid states. That gets under minimum wage when it was at the lower end. hiring off of Indeed and like LinkedIn instead of trying to get the county parties to recruit and hire people. There's no good talent pipeline. It's broken because they won't pay people well enough or invest in it between cycles. And the only people that really take these jobs are like fresh out of college because they brutalize your body with the hours and everything and forcing you to like knock doors and make phone calls when you're supposed to be an organizer, recruiting people and getting them to, take action and take ownership over their lives and their dignity and politics. And of course, there needs to always be like some level of like door knocking and phone calls and outreach, when you don't have anything else to do. But like for it to be like the main thing is just so weird because we have large databases of people that said they wanted to volunteer. It's just kind of approaching them in the right way, hosting events, organizing events, people to get excited at, working with groups who then mobilize their members or who recruit for you, working through those networks, the ways people are already organized instead of trying to build something from the ground up every single 2 years from scratch and then just ditching it a few days or a week or two after the election. It's an unbelievable waste. And all the people that worked in there would never work for them again because they have such a bad experience. So you destroy the relationships that you really needed. And maybe you have like the data and the volunteer information, but sometimes it doesn't even go back to the county parties. That happened in 2016 in a swing state where the county party had to fold their database into the statewide one. And they paid a lot of money for like Spanish speaking lists. And they got promises that they would get the data back after the election, like who volunteered and all that kind of stuff, so they can build up their capacity. And then they just got ghosted. And the next, 2 years later for the governor's race, they just didn't work with the state party. So you have field staff on the ground who are desperately trying to get out the vote, recruit and work with local communities, not even being able to talk to their own precinct captains, the people who are explicitly committed to getting out the vote in a specific area. Interns, like unpaid work being recommended as a way to like break into the field is unbelievable. Like that should not be a thing in 2025. Obvious class and diversity barriers there. Not hiring union busting lawyers would be great. That happened like 10 years ago now, but Jesus Christ. The 2022 internal DNC report made 5 specific organizing recommendations, but none of them were implemented on timeline. Some not at all, according to the DNC report. County parties not having a paid canvas program. So you get more volunteers if you have a paid canvassing, which is kind of fucked up, but like if people think they're going to be able to get a job, and if they do good work, like they very much could, but like it creates more investment with the party because they give you something back. 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. weekday early voting in blue counties and swing states is ridiculous. That's inaccessible for working families, people with mobility issues. Then have to like wait for long lines on election day. And they don't spread information about like early voting hours because then a Republican might see it. And it's like, Jesus Christ, we want everyone to see it and go vote early. So the lines are less long on election day because waiting hours in line when you have a bad knee is fucked up. When you have kids to get home to or like all this other stuff, it just gives you more and more reasons to not go vote. And that kind of focus and thinking about how do we keep ourselves from helping certain people vote is just something we should not even be considering in the first place. It's so like controlling, just so inorganic and stiff and rigid. And it just makes, election day lines longer for everyone. So it's inherently like bigoted in a way, prejudice. So you're not thinking in terms of somebody with those issues. Ban voter software, like the database being a predatory monopoly, which really sucks. Forcing candidates into year-long contracts, even if they only might need it for a few months, so they get repeated charges, even though what they're done with the campaign. Getting into debt, like we should not be putting people into debt. We want them to run. Places where the reports disagree is like Gaza stuff, proxy versus like primary cause. The Bulwark said like, as a whole we couldn't dig out of. Effort shift towards Trump was lower in states we competed in. Biden never should have run again. Anyone from Biden would have lost. They should have talked about it. There's a lot of stuff like that, but like RootsAction said it was more of a preventable disaster, wrong strategy, priorities, and abandoned the base for corporate donors and centrist crossover votes. Trans had response, whatever. TV versus digital spending. definitely needed more organizing spending. The consultant class being so dominant. Paris being talked out of railing against corporate greed by her CEO brother-in-law, CEO of Uber, just destroys people's ability to get excited because they need to see that someone knows that they're being screwed over. That's what Trump was actually good at, that got people excited. There's so much work class struggle, and just saying, look how good the economy is, these numbers, these numbers, these numbers, like turns people off to such an unimaginable degree. And that's just the norm. It's like optics and say everything's good. And you can see that in Ken Martin's interview on Pod Save America, how much it's just about optics and like, let's make it look like there's a real conflict here, like that we can't, just so that the viewers or listeners might think that there's a good reason to like muddy the waters, even though it's all BS and disingenuous. It even lies at times. What do you want, Kitty? What? What are you doing? That's the end of my combined report. What's I have so far? What do you want to do? What do you do? All right. Thanks for watching. For verifying if you did. A lot of stuff we can fix before 2026.